Hey, welcome to Dejuan's Aerial Quad channel. Today is day 3 of the road trip. I did not fly a single flight yesterday for a couple of reasons. It rained most of the day, and I spent 7 hours or so at the U.S. Museum or National Museum of the Air Force. The whole main reason I've been on this trip was to go to that museum. It was incredible. I've been to, impressive aerospace museums before, but wow, this one really does take the cake. They had anything you could imagine, they've got it there. So if you're interested in anything remotely like that, go check it out. It is in Dayton, Ohio. It is free. And they have everything from one of the original Wright military flyers, not the Wright flyer itself, that's in DC, but they've got one of their first military aircraft ever, which was from the Wright brothers. It looks very much like the Wright flyer, just a few years later and a little bit more advanced, all the way down to they got an F-22, they've got an SR-71 and a YF-12, the direct predecessor to SR-71. They've got a U-2. They've got the current bomber triad, the B-1, B-2, and B-52. They've got the B-70 Valkyrie, the Mach 3 bomber. They've got the Hustler, the Mach 2 bomber, all those Cold War things. They've got an A-10, they've got an F-16, they've got a couple F-15s. They have the Streak Eagle, which is a whole story in and of itself. They've got the second of the 2 remaining X-15s, the other one's in DC. They've got the Apollo 15 command module, because the entire crew of Apollo 15 was former Air Force. Speaking of Apollo 15, humble brag, I did get to meet Apollo 15 mission commander Al Worden a few years ago, back in 2017. I was at a model rocketry event, a world championship in Paris. And at the Paris Air Show, Al Worden was there. This was not long before he passed away. You can imagine being in Apollo 15 in 1971 or 72. He's aged some. But yeah, I got to meet him. That was super neat. Today I am flying in Miamisburg, is the name of this small little town here south of Dayton. It's where the hotel was last couple of nights. And I've got a nice stumpy water tower over here. Let's take a look. There it is, Miamisburg. And I am rocking with the Mini 5 Pro today. It's not raining, so I'm comfortable getting the big dog out. And depending on how interesting the terrain gets next few days, I've also got the Mini 4K, which I have set to exceed the 400-foot limit if you're hugging the terrain. I'm not going to just fly high to fly high, especially right now. Let me show you. This is 90 feet. Show you how quickly we lose everything in the fog. That's 300, 310. You still see the interstate a little bit. Or not interstate, but whatever that highway is. 380. Let's go to the full thing. You can still just make out the road. You can make out what's directly beneath. That's about it. 300. 200. Yeah, the cloud deck is sitting at about 100 feet today. So not a lot of altitude we're going to get on this flight today. That's okay. Just kind of stretching the wings there again. Didn't fly at all yesterday. Saw lots of things that fly really well though. Oh, what else do they have? An A-10. I don't think I said that. They've got an F-16, one of the retired Thunderbirds specifically. They have Spat 27, Robin Old's actual F-4 Phantom. They got a whole wall about Robin Olds. For a while I was worried they weren't going to have anything about him. But no, they've got an entire wall about him, and he's in a lot of the marketing materials as well, a lot of pictures. What a guy. What else? Oh, they've got America's Ace of Aces, the American pilot throughout all of history who's gotten the most air-to-air victories, was a fella in World War I named Richard Bong. And the road that you turn onto, the last road before you get to the museum, is Bong Street or Bong Avenue, I forget. So it's a nice little shout out to him, the Ace of Aces. I believe he had 40 confirmed air-to-air kills. And this was the hotel the last couple nights, Super 8. It's fine. It is a smoking hotel, so the hallways do smell a bit, as you can imagine. That just comes with the territory. There's a Tim Hortons, too. That is not a thing we have in Missouri. Tim Hortons. There's me. I found a nice smoke shop that's shut down. Now, there was another water tower out in this direction. Not whatever this is. What is this? I guess that's a water tower. But that's not the one I'm talking about. West Carrollton. Not sure what that is. Not used to flying this low. Typically I'm hugging around that 400-ish feet mark. But yeah, I was out in the distance somewhere on this side of the road. I don't know if I'll even be able to see it through the fog. But yeah, we look north. Dayton is that direction. There's not much of a skyline in Dayton, and obviously we're not going to see any of it right now anyway. Boy, the rain and the fog on this trip so far have been so impressive. On my first leg, going from Missouri to Ohio, when I was on 70, drove past Indianapolis. I-70 runs right through just south of downtown. So going east, I'm looking out my driver window and you can see downtown, the skyline. I could only make out the Lucas Oil Stadium. If you know anything about Indianapolis, I couldn't see any of the high-rises, nothing. I could just barely make out the stadium because it is pretty much right there on the interstate. It was some wild conditions there. What have we got here? I haven't had breakfast yet. Hotel breakfast left some to be desired today. But you get what you pay for. Probably won't eat at the bank. Probably. Maybe the Comfort Suites has better breakfast. No, I'll probably end up going to a gas station. I haven't looked to see if they've got a Casey's around here. Fly directly over the medical building. Feels weird. Boy. quite a level of fog here. As always, thanks to Zach with Dead Armadillo Sounds for giving us something to listen to. Well, the light pole's up pretty high. Of course, I'm up a hill right now where I'm flying. It is certainly higher than I am. And what's the Garmin say? I got 409 miles driving south today, a little bit east. I didn't actually decide on where I'm staying tonight until last night. So then I guess I'll do the same thing tonight for tomorrow. I'm still thinking Kentucky, because I've not really been to Kentucky much at all. And it's possible that I'll pick Tennessee. Just don't know yet. Alright, go back underneath the cloud deck here. We're back to where we started. Head this direction a little bit. There was a Kroger I stopped at, get a couple things. And they got a whole mess of fast food down here. Now, farther on down, there is a very walkable town. I guess probably like old downtown Miamisburg. And that was neat, driving through there. I didn't walk through there because I was going to the museum. But they have a whole lot of, little mom and pop kind of shops of all sorts of varieties. Playground. Couple of car dealers. We saw Ford, there's Chevy. Yeah, this is the longest I've flown on this trip so far, I believe, and it's also the about the farthest away I've gotten. Is that true? Did I get farther away in Taylorville, maybe? I don't know. That last flight in Taylorville, that was fun. And then as soon as I took off from Taylorville, it just started raining. And in Forrest Gump, when he talks about how much it rains in Vietnam, it was sort of like that. It just did not stop raining that day. Is that the Kroger? Yeah, there's the Kroger. It's by the school buses. So there's Kroger. I'd go higher to get a better connection, but I don't know that I'll be able to see anything if I do. So yeah, and then can't really make out much, but just follow this road. It goes down to 2 lanes. And then maybe here, maybe farther on down than here is where that neat little walkable area is. Let's at least make it a mile. We've still got 3 bars. Hey, alright, we're a mile west of our current location. Let's come on back. Let's just take a peek at this water tower again. Call it a day. And get on down the road. It is, what? About 7:20 in the morning. If I drive straight through, I'll get to Asheville about 2 o'clock. But obviously I don't plan to do that. There shouldn't be much rain to dodge today. Might be a little bit, according to the weatherman. But should be certainly a lot better than a couple days ago. Then I think the rest of the trip after that should be golden on weather. So that'll be nice. I'll get a nice view of the water tower before we call it quits here. And try to maintain a connection with the drone. There we go. Strange, getting closer made it worse at the same altitude. Unless it's doing that thing where it's changing altitudes and I'm not touching the stick. It does do that sometimes, and I think mostly in normal mode, so we'll figure it out someday. This firehouse, Yeah. The fire department needs all that water. Anyway, this has been South Dayton, Miamisburg, Ohio, on the Mini 5 Pro. Thanks for watching DJI's Aerial Quad channel, and I do hope I see you next time.